Hello everyone, I'm Shorty from Iron Resurrection, and if you ain't watching Rides Done Right, you ain't watching shit.
Hello friends, I'm Larry with Rides Done Right. I'm at the 2020 Salem Roadster Show and I'm with Chip. Chip, it's good to meet you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So a story for me on this guy is that I went to school with his kids and we all went to Cascade, grew up together. This guy's had many cars. Chip, you've had many over the years, and then we heard about this one coming to the show. Why don't you tell me about this Willys?
Yeah, well, this is sort of my dream car. It's a 1941 Willys, and I built it, or had it built the way I wanted it. I dreamed about this car for a long time, especially the engine was my favorite thing that I was really working towards. And I found a guy that came in and helped me do it.
So what engine does it have in it?
It has a 502.
Oh man, so you put a big block in it then.
Yes.
What kind of horsepower is it putting out?
It's about 450.
450?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this a car you've been driving already, or did you finish it and just start showing it?
No, I just bought it and finished it. It was bare nothing, and we took off on it. We reskinned part of it ourselves and everything else.
So bare nothing means that you got the chassis, you started from scratch, built the whole thing up.
Yes.
What kind of chassis do you use?
It was special made for this body.
Oh, nice. Who built the car?
Well, an outfit called O&C back east, and then my buddy Eddie came in and really built the car. Mm-hmm. Yes, Eddie Wagner is a fabricator that I hired, and we took off and did it. If I couldn't buy it, he made it.
Is Eddie someone that's local to the Salem area? Or?
Yes, it is, yes.
And has he worked on other cars for you?
Yes, he has. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here.
Right on. Boy, that's nice to have a buddy like that then. Now, how did you come, the color, standout color on this car? I mean, it's nice to have something that jumps anyway, but was there something that you had said a long time ago that you said, I've got to do a car this color, or have you done this before?
No, if you really want the story, my wife and I practically got a divorce over what color we were going to paint it. And I'd say this, she'd say no, she'd say this, I'd say no. So the painter, Steve Arnold, is a very good friend. Matter of fact, his wife worked for me when she was 16 years old, and we have a good connection. And my wife and I went out to pick the final color, and I looked at Steve and I said, Steve, Bernie and I are about to get a divorce. We don't know what color to paint this car. He looked at me and he says, really? He says, I'll save the marriage. And I said, how's that? He says, Crystal and I will pick out the color for you. And I looked at my wife, she looked at me. What else could we do? We said, okay, and we ended up with this color.
Now, you get a story like that, and we're all looking at it now and think it's gorgeous. So what was your first impression, or did you get a spray out before that? Did you get an idea, or did you just like walk in and there it was?
No, the scary part, he painted some on a piece of metal, and it really didn't look that good to me because it wasn't shiny or anything else. And I just finally said, Steve, go ahead and do it. So just before he started to paint, he went down to buy the paint. He called me up and he said, Chip, are you sure you want to do this? And I said, what do you mean? I thought we made the decision. He says, well, he says, normally it costs about $2,300 in paint for a car. He said, yours is $4,900. And I looked at him, and as much money I already had tied up in it, what's another $2,000?
Now, you see the car then for the first time, and you realize that was money well spent.
Oh, yes. I'm happy.
Now, how about the interior? Who did the interior for you?
Interior was done by a gentleman named Jan Lynn in Eugene, Oregon. And he and I have a thing, too. It's my father used to own 5 upholstering shops in southern Indiana. So I know a little bit about upholstery, and he and I have a good thing. If he does something and I don't like it, he redoes it for nothing.
Oh,
so
wow.
You know that he's going to do the job that I like.
Man, I want to work with a guy like that on every project. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of the car?
My favorite part, the engine.
That's got to be cool. And is it your first 502 that you've done then?
Yes. Matter of fact, I have other car with the fuel injection on it, but they're 350s, and there's no problem getting that. So when I called English and told them I wanted the fuel injection for thing. He said, "You're nuts. People with a 502, they want carburetors." And I said, "No, I'm pretty on. I says, "I want the stackers." He says, "We can't make them." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "No, we don't make them. We make carburetors for big blocks." And I said, "Gosh." So I was unhappy, but he told me, he said, "Chip, I'll look around for you." He looked around, found low carb that which Spatial made them for me, and I'm very happy.
Man, that's cool. When it happens to be your favorite part of the car, the engine, and then you got to finish it out the way you wanted, that's a good sign.
Well, you know, the funny thing about it, when I was dreaming of it, I forgot about the Willys front end went this way, and the 502s go this way, and if you look at that, there's not much room in that engine compartment.
I was trying to figure that out too, because to put that engine in that car, that was an order.
We had to hand do our own headers and the whole thing.
Do you when are you going to start driving it? And do you plan on driving it, or will you just show it the rest of its life?
Probably show it. You can't match that paint up.
No.
It's tough.
And you've got, how many do you have? Because you actually have a collection. How many cars do you actually have now?
Right now I have 3. I've had 6 total.
Good for you. Yeah. So you've learned in life, let's skinny them down and just pick the ones that you know are really the right ones. That's cool. Well, I'm going to look forward to seeing the car out and about on the show thing. So anybody else you want to thank before we're done?
Well, I want to thank Eddie Wagner, the fabricator, for it. Jan Lynn and Steve Arnold with the paint.
And the wife.
And the wife, yes. Yes.
You're welcome for that.
She lets me spend the money.
Right on. Well, we sure appreciate you taking the time with us, and thank you for coming to the show.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next time.
Okay, thank you.